What's going on, y'all? So today I wanted to kick off with the types of key levels, right? This is going to be one of the few videos with the types of key levels that we use to kind of map out our trades and execute. So first one for me is going to definitely be the indecision zones. So what is an indecision zone? Essentially, what we're looking at is you got a morning star or evening star type of formation, right? Got this middle candle. That can be anything, right? I want y'all to see this conceptually. And then you have the third candle in opposite form. So everything is going to be a 3. So you got the 1, you got a 2, you got a 3. All right, the 1 is going to be whatever the opposite trend was. Okay, so if this was a downtrend, or anything that's opposite, because you can use this in continuation as well. That's going to be the 1 opposite color. Middle candle is going to be any type of indecision. What is indecision? So you could have a doji, you could have a spinning top, you could have a hammer, you could have an inverted hammer, you can have whatever, as long as this candle is clearly showing you that this is an indecision, small bodied, usually long wicked candle, right? And then you have the third candle, which is your confirmation candle, essentially signaling the breakout. Now, it's very key that this candle engulfs, I would say, 80% or more of the first initial candle, right? You don't want to see this. See this? This means we're probably going to continue to head down for the most part. Anything from 80% on higher, the stronger the chance of the reversal. So, with that being said, where's the play? Now, depending on the time frame, you probably can enter at the close of this confirmation. Me personally, I like to see something come back around the wick to close of this middle candle, whatever candle it might be, right? And then that's my entry with my stops somewhere below this middle candle or at a set number of pips. And then I'll take the continuation up like that. Vice versa, if it was bearish, right? Got something like this. You switch it around. You really want that strong follow through, right? You don't want to see too many wicks right here. You don't want to see too much rejection. Maybe a little one, but you want to see a strong, full-bodied candle, right? And then you essentially get the retest running in that same zone, and you expect follow through on down, right? Based off the middle candle. Everything's based off the middle candle. This happens on all time frames. Obviously, the higher the time frame, the stronger, right? But location is important as well. So, we want to just flip through some examples. Looking at GU. So, first one is right here. So, essentially, you see you have the 1, right? Very strong candle. The 2, showing indecisions, right? Small body candle closed inside the wick, and the body was inside of this first candle. Then you got the third being the follow through. Notice how it's damn near no wicks, pretty much engulfed the first candle, right? The zone is going on the middle candle action. So either you're probably going to take a trade somewhere from this wick to body or off of this body, right? If you let this actually form out, your next best chance would have been here, at the close of that candle. And as you can see, quick entry, precise, pulled up to daily, and then we drop a little over 300 pips. All right, too easy. As we scroll down, see something similar, a little different fashion, right? This had a long wick here, a little thicker indecision candle, but I still count that as indecision because on the third candle, you get the fully engulf, right? You get the full follow through. It's basically engulfing that first candle. So you get the 1, 2, 3. Now notice, like I said, you can enter on the close of these confirmations. What this being a daily was pretty strong and it actually took off for over 300 to 400 pips as well. But still laid out the zone so you could see from wick to body on this middle candle that it came back to barely tap it for 2 days and then took off again. Just to let you know how powerful these zones are, okay? Now, looking at this last example right here for a GU, same thing. More so in the middle of a trend or when the trend is getting started, right? You have the 1, I'm counting this as 1, 2, and then 3, which is extremely strong in reference to the 1 as far as body closure, body to wick ratio, right? Pop this up a little bit. Zone here is going from the wick to the body. Now from wick to body, get the rejection, right? At first you get a couple wick to wick touches, then you finally get the wick to body touches after about 4 to 5 days. After you get that, you get immediate rejection, and again, you see the follow through for about 300 pips to the next zone, right? Because you could have caught both sides of this move relatively simply. So where would your stops be? Your stops should be a little bit above the close of the starter candle, right? Depending on how long these wicks are, if these wicks are a little shorter, you can go above the wicks. But essentially, you want to go a little bit above the close or a nice simple number like 20 to 30 pips, just to be safe. So if you activated this on the close of the body at 313, essentially 316 would be your stop, which is not bad. Risking 30 pips or take profit of a little bit over 300 pips, 1 to 10 risk reward. We look for 1 to 4 minimum, so 1 to 10 will definitely get it done. So that's on the daily. Go to UJ, looking at the weekly on this one. As you can see, this actually started a major trend back in November, way back in November around election time. It's funny how fundamentals tie up with everything. But look for the 1, the 2, the 3, right? This is more of a spinning top, small body candle, exhaustion on both sides. Explode up. This candle does have some upside wicks, but it follows through. 1, 2. This body closure is higher than that body closure. What we're looking for, zone goes from wick to body. You get the quick hammer rejection. On the following week, come into this zone. The zone was about 50 pips large, but it still came down to the close, like we say. And then this thing pretty much exploded up for a month or so. About, what is that? About almost 2,000 pips, right? Super high risk reward. Now, looking at this one, this is more so a continuation of trend. Trend is already established as bullish. You get the morning star here. You get the play from the wick to body, jumps down into the body a little bit, right? Almost goes down to to test his wick, but doesn't quite do it. Rejects and continues up for a more intraday play for another 200, 300 pips. Looking at this one, like I said, that indecision candle can change more like a gravestone doji here. Long exhaustion on the wicks. So the play happened higher up. this is probably something that you want to zoom into a little more, just to see what further confirmation you have in this region. But still, the region held strong, played out well within this box, and then this flash crashed and dropped almost 1,000 pips. All the same concepts, all the same concepts. Jump down to oil. Look at a little smaller time frame real quick on a 1 hour, more volatile pair, or commodity, I should say. So looking at something like this, simple intraday play. You got the 1, right, with this pretty much full body bearish candle. You got the 2, almost like an inverted hammer, right? Remember, this middle candle can be different, but you always have the 3 explosion, right? Letting you know that demand is there. So where does the zone go again? For the wick to the body, drag it out to a time in the future. The play originally started on the 19th, and we didn't get the retest until the 24th. So that's about a week before you actually could make this play from when you're seeing it. So yeah, it requires you paying attention, taking notes, and just being aware of the setups and not just analyzing them one day or one Sunday and then forgetting about them, right? Stay on top of these things. You get the quick rejection, came down into your zone. You can put this at the top of the wick or try an entry near the close of the candle. Regardless, this thing chops around like 120-ish pips for a little while, and then it pretty much explodes up 300 to 400 ticks. So not a bad play, especially coming off of the 1 hour, something relatively simple. I'm looking at this one for the huge drop. This was a beautiful play, right? Stalling out at some highs, right? Stalling out at some highs. Created the extremely strong evening star, right? Wick to body, draw your zone, came up in here. You got more exhaustion, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wicks pretty much in that area. And then you got the follow through, right? So this thing pretty much came up into the zone, reacted well, and dropped. Whew. Literally dropped all the way to 60 from around 66, so 620 ticks. That's a lot, especially with that risk reward just being slightly above the high. 620 ticks, probably with a risk of about, let's call it 40 pips, 40, 50 pips, depending on where you entered, or 50 to 30 pips, depending on where you entered. That's over 1 to 20 risk reward ratio. Like I said, mostly we look for 1 to 4, but you will come across trades like that using the zone. One more time, we'll just jump to gold 4 hour, simple play. Now this pattern right here, as you can see, coming across support, but it isn't the largest morning star in the world, but it does have the follow through, right? You still have that 1, 2, 3 follow through push out of the zone, right? You still have it it kind of engulfed it on the first candle. You got the wick, but you do have the follow through. And I said that's just as important. Came back down, not once, but twice, from the wick to the candle close zone. Once it tapped on the second time, it basically hasn't been to that price since. And actually took off thousands of pips. Right, so that's a little wrap up, just a quick little sequence on indecision zones. Very powerful no matter the time frame. Understanding how the middle candle can form, understand that everything is a 1, 2, 3 setup. Drawing your zones precise and then just waiting. Do not forget about the zones. Let the trade come to you and then execute, most importantly. Just let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.